Hey everyone, let's move through a practice for the throat chakra today. So we'll start in kneeling, hero pose. I have a blanket and two yoga blocks handy. If it is not comfortable to be sitting right back on the heels in Virasana, you can take whatever kind of a blanket you have handy in your space or a pillow and bring it between hips and heels to help soften that angle on the knees a little bit. So throat chakra, finding our voice. So we'll start with just a little bit of a tuning into the awareness of our physical throat today. We'll move through a breath practice. We'll chant the seed syllable, which is hum, and then move into a really nice throat opening and stretching practice. So as you start to settle into your seat, finding comfort in your hips, spine, comfort in your props, so that you can start to let go of external stimuli and really bring your mind's eye or your awareness to your physical throat. So if it's comfortable, softening the gaze or closing the eyes, just taking a moment to notice what comes up for you here. What are the feelings? What are the sensations? Are there emotions? Just sitting with that sense, gentle observation. And then we'll move into an Ujjayi breath. So this is that little constriction at the back of the throat. So we create a little bit of a whisper or almost like a soft buzz at the back of the throat. And we do that with the lips closed. But the way that I finally felt like I really understood how this breath would work was I did it first with the lips open, and the teacher that I was studying under at the time, she said, okay, pretend that you're going to clean off a pair of glasses the way that you're not supposed to clean glasses, right? So you're going to take them and you're going to and imagine that you could create that same sense in the back of your throat, but with your lips gently closed. So it's a deep inhale through the nose, deep exhale through the nose with that constriction at the back of the throat. Bringing that awareness to our throat as we move through this breath. Deep inhales through the nose. Full exhales constrict the back of the throat through the nose. One more breath here. Finding nice, easy, natural breathing. Bringing the eyes open for a moment. And we'll move into our seed syllable, which again is hum. And the idea or the thought behind our throat chakra is I speak. So we'll inhale fully, exhale fully, inhale to prepare, and then 5 times hum. Deep inhale through the nose. Complete exhale. Inhale to prepare. Hum. 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 Deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale. And we'll start with some gentle, juicy neck stretches. So first, breathing back into that long, tall spine, inhaling to prepare for movement. Exhale, right ear falls toward the right shoulder, staying long in both sides of the neck and keeping the shoulders equally weighted. Find a full breath this side. And then inhale, lift to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder, staying long in both sides of the neck, equally heavy in both shoulders. Take a full breath this side. Inhale, lifting to center. Exhale, back to the right. This time, pause. Keep that right ear drawing over toward the right shoulder, but again, imagine you're staying long in both sides of the neck rather than crunching the sides of the neck. We're keeping that left shoulder nice and heavy, and then we're going to take our left fingertips and reach them out in the opposite direction where the crown of our head is pointing. We're going to maintain that sense of length, and then we're going to rotate the chin out toward the top of the right shoulder. Rotate the gaze forward, ears over the shoulder. Gently bring that hand back in. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder, pause. Take those fingertips out, reach them opposite direction where the crown of the head is pointing. Keep that length. Bring the chin out toward the top of the shoulder. Bring the gaze forward. Bring the hand in. Lift the head, big inhale into the length of the spine, exhale, chin to chest. Start a little slow roll side to side, letting your head roll one direction, back chin to chest, roll other direction. As you roll side to side, increasing your movement a little bit with each cycle until we're rolling ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. Check in with the neck. If it feels okay, opening up full. Falls back all the way around. Slow, controlled movements. If you're full circling, chin to chest, pause, switch directions. Chin to chest, pause. Open all the way back up to a long, tall spine, lifting the crown of the head. Bring the hands around toward the low back. Interlace the fingers at the low back. Draw the arms away from you. Let the sternum lift, shoulders open, and then gaze comes back, throat opens. Lifting back to a long, tall spine, drawing the hands in. Unlace the fingers, slide the hands around to the fronts of the thighs for a moment. We're going to lift up to a high kneel. So if you had props here, we're going to scoot those props out of the way. We're going to tuck the toes to lift the heels. Now we're going to slide the hands around to the low back, tops of the glutes. We're going to press the hips forward. Again, lift the sternum, open the fronts of the shoulders, and open the throat. Lifting back toward long, neutral spine. Slide the hands back around to the fronts of the thighs. We're going to come over toward a tabletop shape. And if you landed very near the front of your mat, like I did, we're going to take a little scoot back so toes are closer to the back of our mat. We're going to bring ourselves down onto our bellies to lift toward. Let those hands slide out. Support yourself in whatever way you need to allow yourself to come all the way down. And then using the low back, lift the heart again, open the throat. Let your elbows gently draw toward the space behind you. Let the crown of the head lengthen as if your head is growing up long out of your shoulders, long through the front of the throat. One more breath here. Exhale, lower back down. And then we'll find a rhythmic flow with your breath. Inhale, lift using the low back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Moving through a few on your own rhythm of your breath. One more inhale, lift, pause. Slide your hands out, elbows land under the shoulders, moving toward our Sphinx pose. Nice wide finger pads pressing down into your space. Hands are stuck where they're at, but imagine them trying to pull back toward your pelvis. See if you can find even a little more length in the neck, a little more opening through the front of the throat as you grow that crown of the head up, up, up away from the shoulders. Sphinx pose. Starting to lower your way back down so you can slide the hands back under the shoulders. So we're moving back through that cobra prep. We're going to press into the hands, lift ourselves back up through that tabletop shape. If toes untucked, we're going to tuck the toes again, and we're going to bring ourselves back to that high kneel. Slide the hands around to the low back tops of the glutes. Let me turn a little bit here. And same variation as we did before, if you like. Either way, we're going to start the same way. Hands to the tops of the glutes, pressing the hips forward. Heart opens, throat opens, crown of the head draws back. Stay here, find a breath, or release the right hand toward the heel on the same side. Check in if that feels okay in hips, low back, quads, everything else. Release the hand on the second side. Bring it to same side heel. We're keeping the neck active and engaged here. Reaching those hands to the heels, pressing in a little bit. Open through the throat. Let the crown of the head drop back. Camel pose, Ustrasana. For hands to heels variation, we're going to use those hands to help lift our way out. Release one hand from the heel, bring it around to the front of the body. Start to let that hand pull you forward so you can lift your second hand from the heel, lifting all the way up, long neutral spine, and hands reaching back toward the floor in front of your knees. Bring yourself back over to a tabletop shape. This time, pause in your tabletop shape and cat-cow the spine a few times, letting your awareness stay with your neck. Exhaling up, find your cat stretch. Inhaling, lower the belly, lift the crown of the head, lift the tailbone, open the throat forward. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, thinking about opening the throat. Exhale, stretch the spine. Inhaling, thinking about opening the throat. And settling back through tabletop shape, cross the ankles, press the hips back toward the heels. We're going to come right around into a seat. If this does not work for you, come around to a seat in whatever way does work for you. We're going to send the legs long. We're going to take a little scoot forward so our tailbone is right around the center of our mat, and we're going to lower ourselves down for bridge pose. Heels are pulled in close to the glutes, but not so close that we could touch them. Palms are down alongside the hips, fingertips nice and wide and active. We're going to take that big inhale into the length of the spine. First part of the exhale, we're going to imagine pulling your tailbone toward your heels. Continuing that exhale, slow peel the spine up off your mat, one segment at a time, articulating bridge all the way up to the top. Pause. Bring the awareness to the throat chakra. Notice. Find your breath. One more breath. Articulating one vertebrae at a time, all the way back down. And we'll find a rhythm here with your breath. Lift and lower. Setting myself up just the same way. Hips, knees, ankles, all same distance apart. Ankles are lined up with my hip joint. Nice wide finger pads pressing down on either side of the hips. Big inhale to prepare. Exhale, this time pressing straight up to the top of my bridge, mindfully and with control, but lifting right up to the top. Inhaling, lower. Exhaling, press up. Inhaling, lower. Exhaling, lift. Coming back down. Pause. We're going to try it with breath going the opposite way. You notice if one feels better or worse for you. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower. Coming back down. We're going to do a few more on your own. I'm going to switch my breath back to the first way. You do whichever works better for you. As you're ready, lifting and lowering with your breath. Finding the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your throat chakra. Next time you come to the top, pause. Staying here, finding a few breaths, or interlacing the fingers behind the sacrum. Rolling the shoulders underneath. See if you could find a sense of more length, more opening, more expansion through the front of the neck as you gently press those interlaced fingers down into the earth. If we're fingers interlaced variation, we're going to start to roll those shoulders out. Unlace the fingers, ground through the palms, slow way down. Bring both knees in toward the belly, knees to chest pose. Let those knees roll you over to one side, fetal position. Slow, press your way up toward a seat. Ending with a supported fish pose. Grab your 2 blocks or whatever creative handy dandy thing you have found to use instead of your 2 blocks. And let's see, let's put these over here. I think that'll be easier for you to see. So I am going to have 1 block, long ways, medium setting, aiming for right between my shoulder blades. I'm going to have my other block supporting back of my head, medium, low setting. We're really going for a sense of opening and stretch through the front of the throat, but not all bodies are going to be able to tolerate this. So we're going to move in really slowly and just kind of check in as we come down. So I'm going to turn my back to this block and I'm going to try to put it so that as I support myself with my arms and come back again, the bottom of that block is landing right about the base of my shoulder blades. So helping my body to come back, keeping a bend into my knees. Nope, that's too low. Oh, maybe still too low. And then allowing my head to fall back on that other block. And again, taking a moment, checking in. So this actually feels pretty good for me, but if this feels like too much of a stretch, again, blocks are gonna match each other in height. Allowing that sense of lengthening, of opening, of expansion, but not so much stretch that it's uncomfortable or I feel like I can't maintain this for a moment. So I like to keep a bend into the knees. You could play with sending legs long or even bringing legs into another shape that feels interesting to you. And hands could stay right down alongside the hips, palms face up. You could bring them out a little wider. You could turn hands palm face down, or you could even bring hands up onto your belly. So play around with that position of your arms when you find a comfortable place where they can be at rest. Again, bring your awareness back to that sense of your physical throat. And could you invite a little more ease, a little more softness, even as you feel this pretty intense stretch. Feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, or invitation to return to Ujjayi breath. Enjoying another full breath cycle here.
And then getting ready to come out really slowly and mindfully, again, using the support of your hands and arms to start to make your way back up.
Meeting where we started. Seiza or Virasana. Grab props as needed. Softening into the foundation of your hips and legs, finding a long, tall spine, soft shoulders, lengthening the crown of the head, softening through the gaze as you bring awareness to the throat. Notice, check in, observe, be curious. What feels the same? What feels different? Thank you.